Good day. This is going to be another session for management accounting, and this is all about activity-based costing and management. But the beginning would be all about activity-based costing. So you can see the beautiful picture on your screen showing about how costs are to be determined. So there are monetary amounts to be considered coming from the pockets to form the reports, and the reports will be used for decision-making purposes. So ABC costing here is for management purposes or internal reporting purposes. I'm going to make use of this particular source. So hopefully you are going to be comfortable about this one. This is very summarized. Should you like to know more about this one, you can use whatever books available or ebooks or sources on the net. Okay, so objectives or outcomes is that the student should be able to explain and illustrate the traditional method of calculating average costs of products. So just to say that in a traditional method of calculating costs, that would just be the total cost, especially for the factory overhead, divided by a cost driver that could be direct labor hours or machine hours or direct labor costs. So meaning all the costs are lumped and then just to be divided by a single cost driver. I'm talking about the factory overhead because for direct materials and direct labor, it's really clear now. Direct materials will be the number of units used for the production, and for the labor, the number of direct labor hours. All right. Second is to explain why the traditional method does not adequately serve modern organizations. So for contemporary businesses in today's world, why is it that traditional method is not hugely favored? It is disadvantageous compared with ABC costing. Then explain how complexity and diversity are important cost drivers. Yeah. So in a complicated, diverse, modern, contemporary business world plus the global scale, cost drivers could be really different. Different costs should be analyzed properly so that the cost drivers applicable can be placed on the situation. Then explain and illustrate the activity-based costing method of calculating average costs of products. So how do we do that? And then we are going to explain and have some problems. All right. So another would be we illustrate ABM. Anyway, ABM, of course, will be on part two, as well as the preparation of ABC formatted income statement. So hopefully you will watch also the second part. Now, here is an example of the traditional approach or method in ABC costing. So the company makes two products, A and B, and uses machine hours as its cost driver. So take note, machine hours would dictate the cost that would be incurred. That is a total of 900,000 pesos. So to compute under traditional approach, for sure, that's going to be just the 900,000 divided by 300,000 units, or the units here would be the hours, of course, because it is overhead cost. So $900,000 divided by 300,000 hours is 3 pesos per hour. And we have to multiply such to the number of hours. So that would be our cost allocated for overhead. That's under traditional approach, which is simple and easier to do. Now, for activity-based costing approach, the volume is one major driver because it is based on the outputs or the units produced. And then it can also be the input, labor hours, machine hours, or etc. Then in terms of costing and the influence, we would recognize complexity and diversity of operations. Complexity just means how the computations and calculations, and then the basis would be that filled with ramifications or complexities or certain concerns or considerations to be applied or to be taken into account. Then diversity is that there are so many areas rather that will be taken into account again or consideration, and then it's going to be in different scales in different levels, and then that's why it's called diverse. All right. So ABC is also concerned with resource consumption. So what resources are being consumed with respect to the production of products and on the respective services offered by the company or business. So in this one, for example, multi-brick cost determination data, multi-brick makes 10 million total bricks, but in a dozen colors, 4 textures, and 8 sizes or shapes, a total of 384 possibilities. The firm mixes and bakes 10 to 18 batches of bricks per day. Multi-brick sells to over 1,000 customers whose orders typically include 15 to 20 different kinds of bricks. And so, okay, cute bricks. So how do we determine the cost for the overhead? So you have here the total manufacturing overhead, total output. So that would be $0.08 per brick, which is basically a traditional costing system. And then we can just add this to the material cost and direct labor costs per brick, respectively, to get the total cost per model or unit. So example, if this is 0.05 plus 0.06 plus 0.08, that's going to be 0.19, right? $0.19 per brick of model A-42. So that's how it is computed under traditional. So going back to the problem, that's just the given or provided total factory overhead cost, also known as production cost, or the overhead, of course, and the manufacturing overhead cost that's divided by 10 million total bricks. Okay, so that's $0.08 per brick. Then, okay, as what I've said, that's how we calculate the cost. So simply add the 3 components of the total manufacturing costs or total production costs or total factory costs. And the overhead also can be called production overhead, manufacturing overhead, or factory overhead. Okay, so those are the terms. And production overhead, if I haven't mentioned. So those are just the 3 terms. Okay, so terminologies that should be taken into account would be first is cost object, refers to whatever segment for which you are estimating the cost. So are you talking about the product or products itself or themselves, respectively, the customers, the geographical area. So is it in Asia or Asia Pacific? Is it in Europe or in Southern or Latin America or Northern America or whatnot? So those geographical areas, and then the channel of distribution also will be considered. All right, so cost drivers, on the other hand, are the activities that cause costs. So basically, what is driving the cost to be incurred? So examples would be the sales, the production, the number of products, and the number of the customers. So if we talk about the production, so the object would be the products, the drivers would be the production, so the activity. In terms of the customers, so that's the object, the sale would be the driver, and perhaps number of customers also. So they can be aligned. Then the resource driver, on the other hand, activities that drive resource requirements. So example for, let's say, direct labor, the resource driver would be the people, and then the cost drivers would be the production, right? And the cost object would be the product. So these are terminologies that we have to know of. How do we differentiate? I repeat, cost object is the segment or the particular item that we are estimating the cost. The cost driver is what causes that activity to, or what activity that causes rather the cost to be incurred. And then the resource driver is the activity that drive resource requirements and later on costs. Activity driver relates resource driving activities to products, customers, geographical areas, or other segments. Okay, so we have here, I'm repeating those. So you have here the resource driver. As being said, that is the activity that drive resource requirements. So you have the setup. So in setup, we need, of course, the resources for setup. So that could be the cost driver, for example, that is the setup hours. Let us go back. So resource driver, if we think of setup, that could be the people in the organization. Then the cost driver would be the production, and the cost object in that would be perhaps the products. And then setup hours would be our specific driver. Okay, so number of setups, number of hours for baking time, customer orders would be the number of orders, and we get the rates per driver, respectively. So to get the allocated factory overhead cost for the different three models or the three different models, so this is what we can do. We have the number of setups, baking time hours for each. And then what we can do is that, oh, by the way, before going to that, at the bottom, these are given two costs for materials and direct labor. So you have here the multi-brick data for illustration. So if we multiply those specific per unit cost with the number of costs, we get the total material cost. So example, 0.05 cost per brick times the number of bricks. Okay, let us go back to that. Okay, let me press escape. So let us go back to that part there. We have the number of units for brick. Is it here? Okay, total production. So 6,000. Let's have model A42 for now. So that's 6,000. And then multiplied by 0.05, that's going to give us 300. 6,000 multiplied for direct labor cost at 0.06. So 0.06 here, that's going to give us, can I copy this one so that it wouldn't be difficult for us? I will copy it and then let's place it here. All right. Okay, so that it will be easy for us to go back to that part. All right. So you have to consider as to how do we compute. What is this? Okay, so the given cost 0.05 times 6,000 units, that is 300 here. Then 0.06, let us confirm, 0.06 direct labor times 0.06 times 6,000 units, we get 3,000, sorry, $360 rather. So I repeat, 6,000 times 0.06, that's $360. And then what about for the overhead? So in that case, if we compute for the overhead, we have the rate 12. For the setup, we get like how many setups there are for model A-42, that's 150. So if we, for example, multiply that, so that's going to be 150 times 12, and that is, okay, number of setups. Where's that? Okay, so 120,000 divided by 10,000 setups plus 12. And then, okay, 12 times 150, that is 1,800. Then that's for setup based overhead. For baking time, we have the rate here, $2. Let's take note, customer orders is $18. Let's remember that so that we wouldn't be going back. 60 times 2, that's 120, right? And 18 times 30 is it? How much was that? 80,000 divided by 5,000, that's 16, right? That should have been 16. So that 16 times 30, That's 480. Oh, that's a typo error. So let's change that. That is 16. So this is nice. Like while we are going over, we're also editing the file. By the way, this is not our file. We're just using some other files. All right. So going back, the ABC analysis. So we get now $3,060 for model A-42, and then divided by the annual volume of production of 6,000 units that we used, by the way, for the getting of our material costs and direct labor costs respectively, because they are based on the units, but the overhead are based on the cost drivers respectively. So we get $0.51. So how is this done? If it is ABC analysis, of course, the difference is on the overhead. So we just think that ABC analysis is on the application of allocating the overhead, because material cost and direct labor cost would be straightforward. They are based on specific cost drivers. Let's say materials would be in unit. In this example, direct labor cost is also in unit or on unit. So we have to respect that. And we get the cost as a whole if we multiply with the number of units produced, like 6,000. And then for overhead, it's going to depend upon the cost driver, and we have to multiply the respective number of cost drivers, like the setup hours or number of setups, for example, in this problem, multiplied by the rate per setup, which was, again, as what I've said, 12. So 12 times the number of setups, 150 equals 1,800, and so on. So same process will be applied for model A-88 and model C-11. Then what about for traditional? It's going to be straightforward. So whatever is the rate per unit of overhead in traditional cost approach, we just multiply with the number of units or whatever will be the cost driver. So let us go back. In this case, we have overhead rate of 0.08, right? Multiplied by the number of units produced, 0.08 times 6,000, we get 480. Okay, just to confirm. It doesn't mean that we do not trust this illustration. So we get total cost of 1,140. Should we divide that by 6,000 just to confirm? That's 0.19. It was illustrated a while ago. So 0.19 and then 0.51. All right. So what about for activity-based cost approach? This is one. We can just notice that the model A-42 has higher costs compared with traditional cost approach if using activity-based costing approach. Then, all right, so I think this is another one, but what is the, let's say, lesson here? We can just notice that if we use traditional cost approach, the cost assigned to model A-42 is lower. But if you use activity-based cost approach, the cost is higher. Thereby, activity-based cost approach having higher cost per unit, and traditional cost approach having lower cost per unit. Should we use traditional cost approach, then this would lead to lower cost, lower prices, and lower profitability to the business, right? So understated cost of sales, understated sales. On the other hand, other models could have the reverse. Whereas if we just compare it with model A-42 vis-a-vis with traditional and activity-based supposedly should have higher cost per unit, and higher pricing. So that's a disadvantage of using traditional cost approach. But then what is the cue here for activity-based cost approach is that it is costly and expensive for the organization. If you can notice, like for every activity, for every cost that there are like object, we have to determine as to what really is the appropriate cost driver, and we have to allocate respectively. And it's going to be time consuming and so on. But in terms of the long run benefits, activity-based cost approach would be the better option. Okay, that's why management would favor activity-based cost approach. Consumption ratios, on the other hand, is that is the resource utilized by a given product divided by the total amount of the resource available. So example, a while ago, we have known that Model A-42, A-88, and C-11 have the following productions. Should we divide that with the total production, then we get the consumption ratios of 0.06, 0.04, and 1% respectively. Okay, so these consumption ratios could be, a while ago, that was for traditional. Yeah, under traditional, these are the consumption ratios. And these are under ABC costing system. So we have 120 setups divided by the number of setups. And then 60 hours would be for, okay, so this is for setups, meaning these are the three components of factory overhead. These are on the setups, then after that, the cost was all about baking. So that's the baking time for the middle one analysis. And the last one is for customer orders. So that's why it is number of orders. Number of setups, then number of baking time or hours, and number of orders. Okay, so those are the consumption ratios. And then after that, who uses ABC? So we can just notice that these are the primary objectives as to why we use or utilize ABC. That is for productive or service costing at 50%, process analysis, performance management, profitability assessment, and value-based management, respectively. So they have the following percentages. And then process analysis is the highest because we have to determine as to which value-added activities there are on a certain given system. We will know that in activity-based management, but I'm just saying that the value-added activities are highlighted, are being enforced, strengthened, developed, and nurtured. The value-added activities would, of course, give the best that there could be in a company. And then for the non-value added activities, they are classified into necessary or unnecessary. If necessary, they can be maintained, but they can, of course, in terms of cost, be reduced to the minimum levels possible. For the unnecessary, we have to eliminate them because they are not doing any good anyway to the organization. All right. So who uses ABC for industry? We can notice that the public sector uses this a lot because they have different activities, of course, that would require costing. Okay. So after this is now on the different variables or variabilities. So that ends for the costing aspect. And then stay tuned for the second half, which is on the management. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to activity-based costing systems, and hopefully you learned something. Bye for now.